am I the asshole for soaking my niece with a water hose?
Like a waterboarding situation? Or
That's
like
all you guys get, unfortunately.
Oh,
Alex,
okay.
you have to go first. Asshole or not the asshole?
Listen, I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews in my life, though. And there are some times where I just a little spray. Just, hey, cool down, kid. Like, stop running around my house.
Like a cat, like a little spray bottle?
Yeah,
Stop
quit
that
it.
shit.
Yeah, stop crawling on my furniture. I feel like it's a lot worse than I anticipate. So I'm gonna say asshole because I'm worried she like tried to drown her.
Oh my God.
Damn extreme.
I don't know. My mind's going like super dark right now.
That's what happens when you're a true crime podcast.
True crime podcast.
Yup. That's what happens when you're talking about murder once a week.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go the opposite. This is where Sean can possibly catch up. I don't know. Like sometimes, like niece and nephews could be assholes. To me, if this is it niece,
yeah.
If this niece was like a teenager, they probably deserved it. But if they were like 10 below, then they'd be the asshole. But I'm gonna go not the asshole for this time. I think the niece is being a little dickish, and they probably deserve it.
All right, and a little added fact after the words, just to bring a little more fear into y'all's decisions, is the niece is 12 years old and she's wearing white. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Well, I think you're gonna catch up, bro. I think I lost.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. I am a 34-year-old male. Not started good. And a dad of 4. My babies are 13-year-old male, 11-year-old female, 11-year-old male, and an 8-year-old male. Our youngest has some significant sensory issues and anger management issues, which he is being evaluated for. Important info for context. He's already been diagnosed with ODD, but this goes beyond that. My sister, the 30-year-old female, and also my twin, has a 12-year-old daughter, Jane, who is a spoiled, rotten kid, as she is the only child, and my sister puts a whole new meaning to quote-unquote gentle parenting. As in, she doesn't parent at all because her kid is just expressing herself, and she doesn't want to parent out her personality, which sucks for everyone else. I love my niece to the depth of my being, but I do not like her or my sister. I don't know how else to put it. On Saturday, we had a memorial of life service for my uncle who passed away months ago. It was held at my brother's house. There was probably about 12 kids there who got easily 40 of those 60-pack water balloon things, and we let the kids go ham. It was a huge ordeal. However, my youngest at some point decided that the water was too much for him to handle and said he was done playing and came to sit by me and dry off. He was being great, which I was grateful for because he has a lot of bad days. But my niece kept coming up and throwing more water balloons at him after she was asked to stop. It was causing him to spiral, and he begins to rage out. Basically, my sister was telling me that I needed to calm my kid down and tell him to stop being such a baby. My niece didn't want to get wet, so every single time that my son went to throw one back, she would start screaming for him to stop. It got to the point to where my sister got involved as well and started to yell at my son, saying, "Don't you dare." She said not to get her wet because she's wearing white and it'll be see-through. I told her to tell her daughter to stop throwing water balloons at my son because he had already said to stop. And she said he's quote unquote already fucking wet. So basically, my niece was perfectly fine to throw shit at my kid who had repeatedly asked her to stop, but they weren't letting him defend himself. The last time my niece came up to him, I spoke up and said, "Don't think about it." He said no. She didn't listen and threw the water balloon anyways, so I grabbed the water hose beside me and drenched her for about a solid 30 seconds. She immediately starts crying and covering herself and goes to hang out in my sister's car. My sister starts berating me, saying that I quote unquote knew it was going to be motherfucking see-through, and you still decided to be a quote unquote creep. My mom and dad kicked her out for that comment, and I'm getting text messages from my brother-in-law, however, stating that I am a pig and what I did was uncalled for and abusive, and that I would never be allowed to be around my niece again because I'm quote unquote inappropriate. Also, added information, the dress wasn't even all white. It had a white strip along her stomach. That was the only part that was white. The rest of the dress was dark. So, am I the asshole?
Nah,
No.
absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope. Dude, like at the end of the day, like this dad was being a parent and actually parenting correctly. Okay.
Mhm.
So he knew the situation that the son had. And I actually looked up what ODD is. I don't know if this is hopefully this is the right one.
I was going
but
to ask.
it said oppositional defiant disorder. Alex, do you know a little bit more about that?
Kind of, but you might as well read the definition just because I feel like I can't
Yes.
regurgitate it well.
It says it's a disorder in a child marked by defiant and disobedient behavior to authority figures. It's kind of like a quick synopsis of what it is. And the fact that the dad knows that their son has that and he was able to like, hey, protect him from like, you know, the other kid say like, hey, stop that. Like my son is can't take this anymore. He was overly expressive about that. I'm not saying that the kid is like the other kid is like absolved of default because they were being an asshole. But the ultimate asshole in this situation is the mom, the other mom, because they need to parent their kid. If he sees that the other kid is affected by it, and the fact that it's like not going to step in, that makes them like a bad parent. Like who gives a fuck? You need to discipline your kid sometimes, especially in a public setting. And if I was in that dad's shoes, I wouldn't have thrown no damn water balloons. I would have drove my ass to Walmart and get the biggest fucking super soaker possible and call the fire department and get that fucking kid because I'm protecting my child at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I'm saying not the asshole for this dad.
Yeah, I agree. I only have 3 things to say, and that's fuck them kids.
Damn,
Especially
push the button.
Denise.
Josh.
it's a
Fuck them kids.
yeah. Josh isn't here to push the button.
Yeah, you don't got it. He'll edit it in.
He'll put it in.
hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's. I probably would have done the same thing. If you know your kids' triggers, you've set boundaries numerous times, you're going to get soaked. I'm sorry. Like, and for this, it's a sister, right? Because it's
Yeah.
a dad, kid. Yeah. For the sister to overreact that much, like, chill out, babe. There could be a lot worse things going on than your daughter's dress getting wet.
And crazy behavior that she's okay with her playing with water balloons and throw it at other people.
Yeah, but
no one can get her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't
You know
make
what
sense.
we call that? We call that a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
A little rainbow. Josh, add that effect as
rainbow.
well. Put a little rainbow
Yeah,
coming
please.
from Alex. You know VFX now. Yeah, I'm a
Thank
agree with you
you.
guys. The worst offender is the twin sister, the twin sister that's the mom of the niece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, part of me wants to just be like, maybe you should have brought you and your son inside, but fuck that. There's a bunch of other kids outside playing. He just wants to watch his cousins and family play without being a part of it. And he was just sitting out. So he was like totally just watching mode. He wasn't
chilling.
Yeah. He wasn't playing any games. Wasn't throwing balloons. So why is he getting water balloons thrown at? That's like the same as if like she just started throwing it at any of the adults or whatever. You know what I mean? So crazy behavior from that kid. Worse behavior from the mom for not only not disciplining her own daughter, but also trying to discipline other children.
Others. Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Like,
stay in your
whoa,
lane.
how are you going to talk about my kid? You can't even like, you know,
Control
it's your
yours.
kid that's causing the problems.
Yep.
Why are me and my
Yeah.
kid getting the blame? So
Absolutely.
yeah, super easy asshole. And yeah, the white part wasn't even important. Like how your
So stupid.
twin sister and brother-in-law are trying to make it seem. It's essentially like, you know, she was wearing a bathing suit or whatever, I guess, and just midriff or a crop top or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, if you're that worried, like John said, about her getting wet and her dress becoming see-through, don't let her throw water balloons, right? That's very much
Exactly.
easily the answer instead of blaming other people.
Or
Yeah.
if you knew that was it kind of like a memorial what they were having?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you knew the memorial, chances are the memorial had like some sort of like an agenda or like kind of, pretty much like a plan of what's going on. I'm pretty sure those parents knew that there was going to be some sort of like a water balloon fight there. Why didn't they bring extra clothes for the kids to play with if they knew they were going to get wet? So like that's also lack of preparation on their part.
Yeah.
I will say my biggest takeaway from the story is that if there's not a water balloon fight at my funeral, I don't want to go. I don't want to be there. Like,
celebration of life. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Really should. Chuck water balloons at each other and celebrate me.
It's going to be water balloons filled with Hennessy on my funeral.
Jesus Christ, John.
That's going to be lit. I will come
What
down
a
to Texas for
fire
that.
hazard.
Because y'all gonna go with me. I need friends up there or down there, whatever
Lord.
I may go.
Like the gasoline fight from Zoolander.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I was like, I need homies with me. I'm gonna take y'all down too.
Hell
Yeah.
no.
I think that was part of the network agreement, if I do remember.
If one of us dies, we all die.
We all
it's
go.
in the fine print
Yeah.
for whatever reason. It's crazy that we
For
included
whatever-
that.
I read it and I was like, yeah.
I guess I'll sign
Okay.
anyways.
Sure, why not?
They seem cool.
Expert in fucking, I don't know. Great power. For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.